All right, welcome to the podcast. This is episode number 2, where we talk about stuff with a new guest, fresh new face. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
GBs, Thomas. I play on PC, unlike apparently most of these guys.
Console
Uh,
peasants.
I wasn't gonna say anything. You said it. Um, but yeah, thanks for having me on.
How nice of you to grace us lowly console players by coming down from your ivory tower.
I try to be a man of the people. I did just sell my Xbox One. I'm sorry. I have to come clean right now and let you know.
Gone. How much you get for it?
450 actually.
What? How?
No.
What?
I had a bunch of games and it was a Sunset Overdrive edition, so it was the white one.
Oh.
Did you sell it to
If I do what?
Nice.
Just
All right.
dying.
Pretty sure he didn't sell it to GameStop.
No, I sold it to an actual person.
They would give you like $20 for it.
Right, yeah.
Anybody else want to introduce themselves, or you guys are all?
Um, I'm back. No, too cold, even though my thing says Coleman. I'm just here for drinks.
AKA.
Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you do.
Yeah, that. And, the regular Bravo over here.
And Dylan.
Yeah. Bravo, do you celebrate Christmas? What do you do?
Party hard. That's all you need to know.
All right. So let's go right into the main topic. Really, the only topic that I actually was going to do a video on. So Star Wars Battlefront has sold 12 to 13 million copies officially now. This was put out by someone at EA. And it's funny because at the time of the writing article, they list their stock, and EA was down 0.82%, so that's how you know it was a real article. But I actually read some of it. And some of the cliff notes were is that they said they sold 6 million in November, 6 million in December, roughly, and that they sold most of those before the movie came out. So I was wondering, this game's like 13 million now. Battlefield 3, what did I say, was like 17 million. So it's approaching those numbers. It's doing really well from sales perspective. Do you guys see this coming?
Yes, because then last podcast we were talking about how we expected Battlefront to outsell Battlefield 3. Or the other.
Y'all did. I didn't want to believe it.
Well, I think as more and more fans come to the franchise, it'll just keep continuing to sell more. And depending on how good the DLC is, you might see like a little spike in not like a large spike in sales, but just like a little one.
I wouldn't blame the DLC. I'll blame the movie.
We're not talking about the movie because if someone else spoils another thing for me, I'm gonna cry.
I was about to say something.
No, please don't. Like all I know is Han Solo. Wait,
No.
has everyone?
Shut up. No spoilers.
No spoilers. Okay, no spoilers.
All right, so
You'll have to put in
these.
Forget you guys. Soul spoiled the movie for me. So you know what? Han Solo dies. There you go.
Well, damn. All right, now re-edit that, cut that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of surprises me because I mean, Battlefield is a well-established series with lots of updates and consistent content that's been released. I mean, Star Wars is huge, but I honestly didn't expect it to be that huge as far as the game goes. But it's nice to see that, but especially as a PC player, I mean, the community does not feel that large. It is definitely dwarfed by the console community.
Because it's more of a casual game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of us. One of us.
Oh, Aaron, if you care about the rating for that game, it's like in number 7 right now on the Xbox.
The thing about it is that it sold half of its sales at the start.
Wait, what was the rating last week when we did this? Was it like number 2 or something?
Battlefront? I don't remember. I think it was like top 5.
I think it was number 2, maybe.
Well, that was what the stats I went over last week.
Yeah, for Star Wars, the rating.
Well, that was just the Xbox One digital sales. But what's weird about the way it's selling is that it's sold like half of its sales the first month, and then it continued those same numbers. Usually, in almost anything, it does it. They do a lot of sales at the start, and then
drops off.
they taper off drastically. And the fact that it's kind of sold the same amount is a little different.
Well, it looks like everyone got Fallout 4 for Christmas.
That a lot of people kind of shrugged off this game as a casual, but they're finding out that it's actually pretty fun to play.
Well, there was a lot of negative press as soon as the game came out. People were negative about the game before it even came out because of the, EA's and DICE are, cutting all this content, and it's nothing like the previous games, and blah, 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 on and on and on. There's a huge amount of entitlement in this community, so it doesn't really surprise me that people were wary of it, like, right off the bat.
Oh, yeah, and that was another thing, is that it continued to sell even though it got negative reviews from the fans, critics, everybody around. Pop culture was, referred to as a dud kind of, or just an average game, and yet it still continued to sell. That was also really weird.
Star Wars, it's just that big. If this was a game not about Star Wars, that would not happen.
Let's chalk this to the power of the Force.
Well, do you guys think do you think that EA made a conscious decision to put all of their eggs into making the game authentic and make it as Star Warsy as possible, and didn't put any eggs into making it a great game? Like, do you think they went for, like, let's go for a perfect 10 in the Star Wars category and not a perfect 10 in the gameplay category?
I don't know. I feel like that's a tough one to call, because it's pretty obvious that they stress that really hard, but probably the powers that be told them that there was a certain mold that they needed to fit into to push the sales of the DLC, is what I imagine happened, or their timeline. It really feels like their timeline got cut, like they just ran out of time, which really surprises me, because surely they've been working on this for a long time.
Well, the great thing about it is that
it was only like 3 or 2 years.
Yeah, 2013 at E3.
Yeah, they didn't work on it that long.
But so what do you think is missing from a gameplay point of view? Like, they got the whole Star Wars feel right. What do you think is missing from it? But besides map depth.
That's a whole podcast.
Personally,
last week's podcast.
I think the gameplay feels great. It's some of the most fun gameplay, and that's part of the reason why it makes me sad that it's so casual, because it is so much fun, and the gunplay in the game itself is just really refreshing. It's not too overcomplicated. It's like just the right amount of cheese to be a lot of fun. So it kind of makes me sad that there's no depth to the content. There's not really enough to keep the community at the moment to keep on playing, and that makes me really sad.
Oh, so I want to get your opinion on this, because I think I put a video out on this. No, I don't think I did. Actually, but it's a theory I'm working on, is that I don't think the reason why EA hasn't said anything about the Season Pass is because they were waiting to see how the game sold and how many people stay on it in order to decide what they were doing with the DLC. And why I say this is because they left the door open with that statement saying more free content's coming. And so I theorize that if the game wouldn't have sold a lot, in December, or if more people would quit playing it, then they would give away some of the DLC for free. But since it sold a lot, I think they're actually going to double down and just keep going with their DLC planning and not giving out that much free content. Or do you think I'm just crazy?
I think you're probably right, honestly. Everything that they do, it's a huge moneymaker for them, obviously. So, that's not too far-fetched to me. That's not too tinfoil hat. I could get on board with that theory, so.
Because Call of Duty's already shown off their first DLC. They showed it off last year. They showed it off in late December at the Sony thing, I think, or some. But anyways, yeah, they've already picked a date. They've already shown stuff for it. Meanwhile, EA has basically said nothing other than what's not in it.
EA has a weird way of marketing things, and I don't think it actually works too well. like for them, because like they like you said, they tell us what they're not going to do, but they don't tell us what they are going to do. So it kind of leaves.
Well, it's because I think they know. I think it's because they're trying to play cat and mouse, really.
Well, and I think they know that they can be like, yeah, we're going to release this stuff, and you guys are going to buy it, so deal with it, because we're not going to tell you shit, and go well. So, and they were right. They've already sold over 13 million copies of the game, and it's not a finished game, really. There's not enough content in it to really call it finished, but it's a whole lot of fun, so they've sold 13 million copies.
In the cat and mouse game, I think they're playing it with, and I'm probably biased, but I think they're playing it with the PC community or the DICE fans. And why I say this is because Destiny showed it that I think Destiny fans were kind of pussies and they could have did more if they cared. But I think that. But I think if EA tried to play games with the DLC and this game a little bit more, and if they tried to just be as blunt as Bungie and Activision were, I think they would be revolted heavily by Battlefield and just Battlefield fans and DICE fans and the Star Wars Reddit and stuff like that. I don't think they'll stand for what Destiny and Activision did. So that's why I really think EA is kind of pussyfooting around this whole deal.
So you think they're just like. So you think they're trying to keep it a mystery to keep us, quote unquote, interested in it?
Yeah, because Destiny and Activision, they just didn't give any fucks. They were just like, we're doing it like this, deal with it. Meanwhile, EA is being like very, very, very cautious.
That's true. That's actually a really good point. Since they haven't said anything, people don't have anything new to complain about apart from what they're already complaining about.
Yeah, we were going to complain about it either way. Is probably how people from the outside will go. Oh, you got that game, but you're not getting more prequel DLC, or you're not getting new movies. Oh, who cares? It's not that big from the outside to get more people on our back to say, wow, EA's dirty. But they're like, oh, everybody says EA's dirty. It's nothing new. So we don't have no real go-to flame behind us or anything special.
Right.
But that's the thing about being the game developer, which is no matter what you do, people in the community are always going to find something to complain about.
Yeah, and that goes with that is that if we can't go, oh, this game is light on content, and everybody on the outside will just go, so, or they're just so numb to it.
Well, EA has like a knack for kind of getting bashed by their community a lot, so they're probably used to it. So they're like, oh, everyone's bashing us again? Okay, this is pretty much normal. I bet you'll still buy our DLC, though. So
I think that's spot on. People are still going to buy it. So
the whole vote with your wallet scenario all over again. There's like countless videos on it. So let's go down the line. Like, what is everyone's top game of the year? Starting with Bravo.
Well, I
Yeah,
spent
probably
most
most
of my
games.
time on freaking Fallout 4. You already know. That's my number one.
Sure. All right, Aaron.
I don't know. Hang on, I gotta look. Ask someone else.
All right, Thomas.
That's a tough one. Probably the one that I spent the most time playing. GTA 5, and it's going to be weird for you guys because it's new for me, but definitely not new for y'all. So
Wait.
No, that's fine.
Hold up.
No,
Aaron,
that's fair.
Aaron.
Whatever you guys need.
Good to have you. Like,
What about you, Dylan?
Well, Battlefront, I guess. I mean, I've just had the most fun
Oh,
playing
kick
it.
this dude.
All right, then, Aaron. What's your favorite game?
I think. Oh man,
Minecraft.
I don't even know if I could say this. I would say maybe technically the raid from the Taken King.
Jesus, get out of here. Go home. Leave the podcast. I'm taking
I
over.
stand by it though. It was a 10 out of 10 raid. So technically, if we're going on ratings and what you'd rate a game, I'd rate the raid a 10. So technically, I can say that.
Okay, let's go play Destiny. Let me download it again.
Biased.
Always against Bungie, who's saying, "Oh, Bungie is shit," is now saying, "Yeah, their game's number one in my heart."
I just didn't play a lot of games. Really, is what it is.
Aaron, you such a flip flop. You spell. You
No, I
hate on
stand by
every.
everything I said, but I'm just saying the raid was really good. Oh.
No, you realize when you say the raid is 10 out of 10. You're saying to me, because I asked, "What's your favorite game? What's the number one game of 2015?" And you
It'd
said
be the
the raid.
Taken King raid. Well, I don't have many options, dude. I only played like 4 games this year. I didn't
He
play that
refuses
much.
to switch games.
I mean, I tried playing Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, just couldn't do it, man. Got bored. Couldn't do it. All right, so one more Battlefront topic, real quick. I wanted to mention it because it came out again. Is that the DLCs? They already said that the DLCs won't be in space. That was confirmed by the EA Star Wars Battlefront Twitter, and so that officially rules out the new movie, space, and basically the prequels. So there goes all hope.
But there's a New Hope, right?
I mean, you get New Hope. You get New Hope
No one got
DLC.
it. No, there you go.
I got it. I got it.
E-
That's about all I got from Battlefront. So, if
Next
y'all got
topic.
any more Battlefront questions, this is it.
Let's see. Oh, do you enjoy playing Battlefront with friends or by yourself?
Friends.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
Yeah, definitely friends. I wish I had more people to play with.
this.
I've never played Battlefront by myself. It's just like
It's
I can't even go
horrible.
half a game. I'll just
It's
get bored and get
horrible,
off.
That's part of the reason why I play the smaller modes, because I feel like I can actually impact something.
Is there even a game chat in Battlefront? I think you have to go in the you can only play chat, right?
There is no
No
game
game
chat.
chat.
Plus, it's
Yeah,
Xbox. Well, console-wise, no one talks to each other. Like, come on, it's weird.
Yeah, on
You get the
PC
same
there's
for
like
free.
really limited chat, and it's not voice chat. It's literally just a terrible little chat box.
Oh yeah, I did see the chat box. That's true.
Yeah.
I remember that.
On these
And
chat
it doesn't persist in the lobby either. It's just like it's really awkward. It's really horribly implemented.
At least
You have to
have
pop it up,
someone to
or
communicate.
does it pop
On
every
Xbox,
time somebody comments, or how's that work?
You can change the settings on it, I think, but it just pops up anytime somebody makes another comment.
man, at least you have someone to communicate with teammates. On Xbox, you just gotta shoot at them and teabag.
You got the
them.
emotes. Come on.
Yeah, that's the only way. Then they get pissed off, go to the other place.
You could tell them to move along. There you go.
They won't. Man, they don't care.
like an update. Like whenever you like some like the D-pad options where like follow me or whatever, like it actually shows on like the HUD for a second. Like people follow me.
I
That'd
have
be
no
nice.
idea what you just said.
I know you're breaking up, man. Fix your doo-doo connection. Because Battlefield 4 did the comma rows, and that made it to console. So I mean, the technology's there. Yo, so Bees, what's your gaming background before Battlefront?
Oh god, dude, I've been playing games for years. Played a lot of the Battlefield series, like back from 1942 with the Desert Combat mod. A lot of PlanetSide 2, Counter-Strike, and I gamed quite a bit. Not so much this year. I took like 6 months off, but like, I game a lot. Hold on.
Oh, you know what? Here could be a good question. Is the new Battlefront the best Star Wars game that's been made?
No, I still think Battlefront
The
2
second one,
is
yeah.
still the best.
Man, there were like 30
Oh, and then they
matches.
still supported that shit too. They got a mod for what was that new guy from the Star Wars movie? Ken? Ryu Ken? Something like that, right?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got that dude in the Battlefront 2 mod for PC.
Yeah, I mean that's like community-driven stuff. So
Yeah.
I really didn't play much of the previous 2 Battlefront games either. Like, and I wasn't really going to get this game, but a friend of mine really wanted me to play it. So
Are
I
you glad
did.
you got it?
yeah, I'm really glad that I got it. I've had a lot of fun with this one.
How many days do you have into it?
I think I'm at about 105 hours.
Oh shit, right on my ass. Damn. There we go.
Against
I
each other
got
like in real life.
111 hours.
How many kills do you have?
I don't know. I have to pull it on. I just know I got a 3.9 KD. That's all I
Oh,
know.
I'm right
Well,
behind you, Aaron. I'm gonna catch up soon.
yeah, right. All
I'm
right,
at
so
3.1.
so this was another question that came up at work today, and it was actually a good one. So 2014 and the start of the next gen or current gen consoles, or whatever you want to call them, gaming was starting to decline. It was a dry spell of games. Destiny was basically the most popular game. Did 2015 turn around the gaming industry?
I
Mm,
think it did a lot better job of, you know, putting out better games because the first games for the next gen slash current gen were kind of.
yeah, next gen games weren't really that much, and 360 was kind of getting left behind. And
But I think this is going to sound like a lot like the last podcast. I don't think they were that bad. It was just because it was next gen, everyone was saying these are going to be like the best games of all time. And whenever you say that, you're just setting yourself up for failure.
yeah, I definitely think that this has been a better year. I mean, especially, I mean, I'm not even a huge console gamer, but just seeing the community involvement and the quality of games that have come out. I was kind of worried about the progression of the next gen consoles, but there's quite a bit going on now, and all the information that we've gotten this year has been really promising.
Another thing that I think was really improved on was a lot of developers are starting to listen to their communities more, where the community's voice is getting louder. Because you're seeing a lot more games that a lot of ideas that the community is asking for, the development companies are actually starting to do, and they're starting to do them faster instead of waiting like 6 months to finally say, okay, let's give them what they want.
And yet, the creators of Just Cause 3 didn't listen to the most popular mod on number 2, multiplayer. That's the only reason I bought the game, and then I realized there wasn't a multiplayer.
Just give the modders time.
Go
Well,
complain
on
about
console, that's the sad part.
petition, just get in line. Because you know that they're already getting emails and shit about it.
I don't know if it's as bad for console players as it is for PC communities, but like the progression of entitlement of the communities, thinking that the developers can just wave a magic wand and fix all these issues. I don't know. I think it's kind of at a worrying point. A lot of games that I've played, like PlanetSide 2, the community became so toxic that it was kind of scary, and I feel like Battlefront's walking a pretty thin line as far as that goes, because there's so much negativity on like the Battlefront subreddit, and unfortunately, I think this year things like that have only gotten worse in PC gaming, at least. Does it feel like that for y'all too, or y'all basically just you get what you get, and y'all can make suggestions and all that? Like how much interaction do y'all have with the developers for most of the titles that you play?
When they stream on Twitch on what they're trying to do, pretty much it. For me, at least. I follow them on Twitter.
I don't really play much.
Yeah.
You have no answer in this. Shut up!
You know what? You can suck a dick, okay? I hope fuck you. Just fuck you, faggot. I'm so angry I don't even come back right now.
Well, for me, for Fallout, they've been really supporting this game a lot so far.
That's because Fallout has community mods for it.
Yeah, then that's coming soon to the consoles. So,
Really?
That's going to be really good. Because I have like 92% on this game. I'm kind of bored. It's kind of dying out. They need the mod
Jesus
support.
Christ.
Hey, man,
What quests haven't you done in that game?
What?
What haven't you done in that game?
No idea. I'm getting bored of it.
Honestly, I never thought I'd hear the day when Bravo said, I'm bored of Fallout 4. I
All
thought
they're
Bravo.
doing is just glitching and just fucking around, just killing shit with a knife.
Running a melee build on it.
Yeah, I don't even have a melee build character. I'm literally running to them and just stabbing them while I get shot.
So,
Who's your favorite companion? Because I've seen the videos of Strong, and he looks pretty funny.
Dog meat is the best. He doesn't get in your way as much. He's so annoying, but you know.
Dog meat. Whatever.
I've already slept with all the other characters, so you know.
You go into the scooty by your side, a giant scooty. I'll take the dog.
so,
Hold up. Stabbing.
so for the games that we've had for 2015, we've had some games that were light on content, and we've also had 2015 with some great games, and we've also had some games with the addition of microtransactions. And two things: one, microtransaction has came to Activision games hard, but Star Wars Battlefront and EA don't really have they don't have microtransactions in Star Wars or Battlefield. So
They haven't been at the street. I mean, wait, that's Ubisoft. Never mind.
this dude.
Man, go home.
So I just thought that was an interesting point. Is that as much as people like hate EA and stuff, that there is no microtransactions in Star Wars yet.
Well,
Oh God, you said yet. I'm scared.
now that everyone's kind of figuring out how to do microtransactions properly, which is just give people a bunch of skins and they'll be happy to pay for it because appearance over functionality is always how it works. I think a lot more companies are going to start doing that because it's a good way to make more money after your initial sales have started to drop.
Unless you're Destiny, of course, which I will completely buy all their emotes, but you know.
I know, and then quit playing the game.
Yeah, that was really stupid.
I hated you. You ruined the community single-handedly. Yeah, but it was like I was saying earlier, though, about microtransactions, though, is that as much as people like to give microtransactions credit and stuff, like with like Halo 5, the way they handled them and stuff, Blizzard, with Overwatch, though, like I said, adopted the method of let's just sell the game at a retail price instead of free-to-play and then sell cosmetic skins instead. So it is interesting to see that for a game as good as that looks like it's going to be, they think that they'll make more money just selling it at $40 or $60 or however they do it, whatever the price point was, instead of just doing skins.
Yeah, I think they might change their mind. They might start. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure
no, I think you're right. That's the sad thing. I think they're going to double down and throw in skins towards the lifespan of it. That'll piss me off.
Yeah, I think you probably hit like a year, if even, into the lifespan of that game, and all of a sudden, no, we're gonna have all this. Suddenly, a cash shop, but
like I wish they'd do one or the other. I don't like that doubling down shit that Destiny did, and because they said with Overwatch is that the characters they add to the game are going to be free. So if they just do basic skins or just skins in general, like Borderlands did skins, then I'll be fine with that. As long as they continue to support it really well.
yeah.
I've always said I've always supported the way Gearbox and 2K handled Borderlands 2 DLC. It was fucking phenomenal. They threw out amazing DLC, and then they gave the diehard fans the option to just purchase raw skins for their character, and then you could get little mini headhunter packs, which were skins, but they had a little bit of content. And I always thought they handled that flawlessly, and I wish more games would do it just like that.
So if Destiny put let's say 5 shaders out a month, would that be worth it to you?
Oh man, that's so
Destiny would have to put out a fucking raid or some of the content that they don't want to put out and say microtransactions funded that in order for me to give them a pass, especially after Destiny's just too far tainted with everything after all the research came out and stuff about it. It was just it had to be a different game. It would have to be a game like if Battlefield 4 was like, hey, we're gonna throw out a 4-pack DLC off of your favorite Battlefield maps from like Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3, and previous and shit. And they were like, but in order to pay for it, we're gonna take basically quote unquote donation / microtransactions of gun camos, and they listed like 10, 15, and like you could buy them in individuals or packs or whatever. And they said if we sell enough of them, we'll start development on them or something. I think I'd be okay with that. But it's when Destiny's just like, give us money and maybe you'll get something. That's what's my problem. Like if DICE adopted that, I would be 100% behind them on that. 100%.
Okay, so let's say perfect world scenario. Destiny kind of all these microtransactions, but 2016 Destiny 2 comes out, all the DLC will be free. Would that make up for it?
Depends what the microtransactions are. If
Wait,
it's
question.
just like the emotes and shit.
Funded all the DLC, all the raids for next year, would that be worth it to you? I would it then be worth it?
If it's just little bullshit microtransactions like it is now, I don't care. Like I said, like the Battlefield example, if they did something like that, I don't know. Bees, what are your thoughts on that? If they did something like that,
I mean, as long as it's cosmetics, I'm on board. I have no problem with the developer attempting to make money to continue support of the game. I just want them to be upfront about it. I mean, if they put a donation button, you know, hey, just give us money for, you know, continued support, I'm sure that there's people that would do that. So, I mean, if they want to sell cosmetic items to continue supporting the game, bring it on.
because that's what I felt like the heads and skins for Borderlands 2 were, is they were basically a donation button because they were like $1 or $3. And you could just get like 4 new heads or 6 new heads and then some skins and boom, that's basically a donation. Or you can wait for the Headhunter pack to come out and get a little bit of content, some stuff to do, and new heads and stuff. And that was handled right too.
That's a real good point. I never thought of it that way as like a donation button. I think like if they think of it, if they come out and be upfront like, hey, this is what's going to happen, like it's pretty much just like a donation, I think that would be a lot better than just saying, hey, look what we got for you guys, but you got to pay for it, because they're making it seem kind of shady on how they advertise it all. But if you advertise it as a donation button and say, hey, we're just going to give you this and it'll keep us funding the game, then I think they'll not have like a whole like backfire kind of mechanism. And more people in the community would be behind it and not have to hate it like Aaron does.
Well, because that's what Destiny did.
Though.
They treated it as here's just microtransactions, and then it was, oh no, they're gonna support the game. It was a cash grab to sell way more copies of the Taken King Fancy Dildo Edition. And then it became, oh, but no, it's going to fund free DLC. When that wasn't the plan, that was the plan all along. That was just their excuse, and it's just the way it was all handled and all the lies about it. But like I said, if DICE did what, like I said, like if they just sold fucking different camos and they said, oh, this is going to go to free maps, I'd be like, fuck it. I might even throw in some money myself just if it meant free maps in the end, or somewhat paid non-free maps, whatever, because I paid for it, but still.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's. It's just unrealistic to assume that a studio can continue supporting games as complicated as they are these days, you know, free. You know, going back to Battlefield 1942, blah blah blah. You know, there's all this mod support. People played the game for years, but even back then, expansion packs were basically just DLC. People don't like to remember expansion packs, but lots and lots of games had expansion packs, and
were they DLC or were they like expansion packs in the sense that they were basically a new interpretation of what the current foundation of the game was? Because that's what I always thought was like what they were, from what I hear about it.
It was basically it just kind of depends, but most of them feel kind of like what Hardline was, but instead of it being a standalone game, it was, here is a different kind of game, but it is the same game. So, yeah, it'd be fine. I really am fine with development studios making money. I just really want them to be more transparent. I just feel like they aren't going to be because of so many knee-jerk negative reactions from communities. So
they're going to get negative reactions no matter what. So, upfront about it, then to have to kind of like beat around the bush when they're trying to make money.
Yeah, I agree. I wish they would be more upfront. That would be. I'd prefer that.
Like that's what they have to do.
Yeah.
Do you think that the middle ground fanboys, the ones that are fans of somebody or a developer, could beat back the negativity from the knee jerks? Do you think they could hold the perception of any kind of change in course of DLC? Like if DICE did something like I suggested, and knee jerk people kind of come out and say, oh, they were going to make the DLC anyways, or if they come up with some, if they knee jerk react, do you think that the core fans that would be there to suppress that?
I mean, in the long term, yeah.
But here's the
But
thing.
in the short term, when it kind of really matters, do you think they'll be there in the YouTube videos, disliking videos where people are rude? Do you think they'll be there on the news videos where they report the story, but they don't kind of report the story right? Because that's what happens with a lot of stuff on like I watch Subscribe to the Know, and a lot of the fans for when they report on a story, but they kind of don't report on it the kind of the fair way, is that they get hit with a lot of criticism.
Okay, here's how it's gonna look. The initial uproar, like the whole knee-jerk thing, was like, oh, they screwed us over. That's gonna happen no matter what. Like that's always gonna be there. But your fan base will be there for a longer term. The issue is everyone's gonna remember that initial knee-jerk. But the upside to it is, even those guys who knee-jerk, they still bought the DLC. So any developers are still looking at the numbers, and they still see that their numbers are going up, like they're still making money. It's that whole initial backfire, everyone being like, "Oh, I hate this game, 0 out of 10." That's always going to be there, because haters are always there.
Oh, my bad. That was a bad question. My bad. Let me rephrase this. Would it mean more to the community that if the hard, fast, deep and rooted fans of the game, not the fanboys who will defend anything, but the hard fans, the ones that are firmly planted in the ground, if they would hear the news and give a fair and honest opinion on it, would their opinion mean more than the fanboys, or do you guys think they would kind of wash out? Because right now, when news comes out, it's usually just a wash and a blur of what the fuck is going on.
I think it just depends on how negative, how big of a negative reaction it is. I think, like in Battlefront's case, I hear a lot more negativity. That really sticks out a lot more than the people that are like, yeah, I really gave it a chance. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm hearing positive things more often now. But still, the negativity I think has outshined the positive actual fan base.
Because I think.
Go ahead, Aaron.
Because I think we'll actually be able to see when they announce the first DLC. Watch the knee-jerk reaction from everybody and what they say. Because we'll see the ones that are going to hate on the game no matter what, because those people for some odd reason really do exist. We'll see the ones that are going to defend it no matter what, and then we'll see the hard fast people. I wonder what's who's gonna really be the loudest and who's gonna make the most sense when the first couple of days when it's announced what's gonna happen.
I think it just depends on the content. I think if they come out if there's enough content in it to really make it feel like the DLC is worth it, or if that DLC completes the game, it might not be that negative, but they really have to make it good.
But negativity will always speak louder than positivity, because
absolutely
it takes nothing to say, "Oh, your game sucks," because I don't like it. Like that takes nothing to say. But if you defend a game and like, "Oh, like it has all these pros," people just call you a fanboy, and then immediately your opinion doesn't count because you're a fanboy. But the person who said your game sucks, his opinion matters more because it just speaks more volume to it.
Yeah, because they're the victim for some reason.
Well, when they announced the first DLC, I'm gonna gauge my opinion on the fan base's reaction based on not on like any news site. I'm gonna base it on the Reddit's probably top top like 8 or 15 comments and read what people are saying there. I'm gonna when it's covered on the like Level Cap's YouTube channel and anybody else that I'm sub to that covers Star Wars Battlefront. I'm gonna see what their top comments and what those people have to say personally. I'm not going to base it on the angry people on Reddit or not Reddit, but angry people on Twitter or angry people in the on like gaming news forums. Like, oh, that game is 7 out of 10. There's no content. LOL. I'm not going to base it on them. Like, if you go to like a more constructive place for criticism and review, isn't their opinion? Don't their opinion means more than the knee-jerk reaction people that are just spouting off into the wind on the comment section on.
Yeah, but you have to seek that out. Like, you have to be... This is such a casual game. Most people, I don't think, are going to be that invested to actually go seek out that content. They're just going to go with, they're going to go with whatever's popular.
Do you think, what... I don't know if this will work or not, but, like, what if, like, after a football game, coaches and key players go to like a press conference. What if after they release a DLC or something like that, developers kind of have like a little Q&A? Would that kind of keep down the negativity, or will that kind of backfire on them too?
I think it would keep down the negativity.
Probably so. I think open dialogue always helps, but there's a certain point where if everything's too negative, it could blow up in their face. But I don't think Battlefront's at that point.
See, for me personally, I really don't care what the developers have to say because I really don't care about most of them. For me, when like Battlefield 4 dropped, I cared more about what like Jake from In the Works Media had to say about when stuff was happening. Whatever he said, I kind of was like, all right, well that's the voice of the level-headed community. I knew you knew what the fuck he was talking about, and where from his perspective, there's different YouTubers like Scanner Barkley. Like when they said stuff about Battlefield 4. I trusted them more than I would trust anything the developers say. I think it's more because of how murky and gray the developers are they're motivated by money and stuff like that, not from like a greed standpoint, but because that's their job. So I really wouldn't care that much about if they did a Q&A, because I know they're just going to usually give you some corporate shill answer because they're not allowed to say anything else.
That brings up a good point. Because they can't really say, like, oh, yeah, we messed up, because it's their job to sell their game. And say, no, it works. It just can't be the time.
That's true. I think they can say, at least, even if they're not apologizing for, think about it. We're talking about them basically briefing us on the DLC and, like, a roadmap. So, they're not going to be able to say exactly what they want to say, probably, but... they should still at least be able to... an open dialogue, I think, is a positive for any community. So I'm not too wary of that, personally.
Yeah, but look at the open dialogue that Larry Herb has with the Xbox One Reddit forum. I saw that fucking dude made a post like, thanks for a 2016 or 2015 great year, Xbox community. And I was like, fuck you, Larry Herb. You didn't do jack shit. Xbox One still sucks dick, asshole. Like,
well, that's the thing.
He was giving us open dialogue, but his shit didn't mean anything.
If your community manager isn't involved in the community, then of course his opinion won't matter.
Yeah, but when Deej was actively involved, but he didn't fucking do anything. He was useless. He didn't even play the goddamn game.
That was fucking hilarious.
Nobody was ever like, oh, David Vonderhaar, that guy's got our back, or Robert Bowling, he's over there getting shit done.
So you're saying like the companies need better community managers, which I'm agreeing with. Because I think some community managers are non-existent in games, and they just come out like a little creeper, just like, oh, does someone say my name? Okay.
I think that the community manager needs to be a third-party entity. I think it needs to be the community manager. Honestly, doesn't need to be getting paid by them. It needs to be getting paid like like a small cut from the game sales and a small portion of like donations or something. I don't know how that'd be exactly, but I think the community manager should be some pillar of the community that plays the game a lot, is interactive with the feedback, and when he goes to talk to developers, he's giving them his truth, honest to truth, and it doesn't fucking matter what they have to say because he's just telling them facts. You know, that's why I always considered someone like I said, Jake from In the Works Media, like when he dropped his opinion on something, I was like, yeah, he likes the game, and I know he likes it, but I also know he's not going to lie and bullshit me. And when the community manager tells you stuff, they're usually lying, bullshitting you no matter what. Even if it is a good product and they think it is, I know when it's a bad product, they're probably going to bullshit me.
Well, you know, you said about the whole third-party thing. There's no real safe way to do that because let's go to 2K. 2K invites people from YouTube to, you know, come play their game, and then they can go back to their YouTube channels and talk to the community about it. But they have to sign a contract that says you can't actually say anything bad. So when they do stuff like that, especially if you pay a third party, they're going to have to sign a contract like that that says you can say anything as long as you don't badmouth it.
Well,
the only really safe way to do it is just, I don't know, there's really no guaranteed way to make sure a community manager actually is like vocal and speaks the truth on the product, because he's obligated to say that yes, this is good. Because no one likes to admit that when they.
What's funny is, I think that this whole discussion really speaks volumes about you really looking to, you know, the community, the YouTubers, to form an opinion, because it is, you know, you have a good point. You can't really trust everything that they're saying, so you kind of have to make up your own news. So it's really important for a game to have an active YouTube community and that kind of thing. If there's actually a large enough community to support YouTubers and to get news coverage and everything, I think that kind of forces the developers' hands to play ball with them, because them being popular drives sales and keeps people playing the games, keeps people buying the DLCs. So looking to those people who put out the content probably might be your best bet. I never really had thought about it like that.
Because B. Dobbins did videos about this, and he mentioned about like COD. When the COD YouTubers go and play the new COD game, they don't come back and warn the community like, oh, this game's not that good or this game's kind of meh. They de-write it to hell. And if they do come back and say that the game was okay, they're not going to be invited to the next one, and boom, their YouTube channel starts to sink. So there needs to be some kind of, they're not watchdogs. Like they make their bread and butter off the people watching them, but they don't have the best interest for the people watching them. But the YouTubers like B. Dobbins, like Jake, like they don't give a fuck. This is their hobby. Like this is their passion. They're not doing this for their money. They're doing this because they actually care about it. And if the game's bad enough, they just won't fucking play it. And that's the key, is like they have something to lose. They have all their hobby, their time put into it at the end of the day. And like Jake walked away from his YouTube channel, gone. And like it made a lot of people really sad. And like that guy should have been like a community. He should have been treated better by like DICE or the community. I don't know. I wish he would have stayed. I don't know. I'm sad. But I don't know. I just feel that the big YouTubers or the better thing is that the bigger YouTubers or community members for a game need to be better selected than just based on popularity, intellect, and their opinion needs to be weighed more than just, oh, this guy's silly, makes me laugh, oh, a thumbs up. I'm gonna sub to him and watch his videos.
That'd be nice, but I mean, there's a reason all the popular people do that, and they get the views.
True. That is a good point, though. I like that, though. That was pretty good, community manager thing.
2016 now?
Yeah, 2016. What are you guys looking forward to? Bees, I guess, because we talked about this last podcast. What are you looking forward to? Overwatch, Division?
Man, I've got no idea, honestly.
That Rainbow Six game?
I'm just kind of going with the flow. I'm looking forward to VR. As cheesy as that sounds, I really would like to get into some VR stuff. So
So you can pretend you're riding your bike in your own room. That's the dream. There you
it
go.
is. It is. Man, I can go. I can walk through the Grand Canyon. It's gonna be great.
The Division, I'm calling it. It'll be the best game of 2016.
It's not
The
gonna
next
be
Battlefield
close.
game's coming out. I think that's going to be good.
What do you guys want the next Battlefield game to be? Battlefield 5, Battlefield Bad Company 3, something different, futuristic, past? What do you guys
I
want?
would love Bad Company 3.
Battlefront.
I'd love to see a older historic game like World War II or something.
Yo, I've been reading some articles about that. They're just talking about the coming back of World War II type games.
Yeah, because
Where'd you read this article? Because I think I've read it too or something.
It
with the
was
graphics they have, it's just
I just saw it was on Facebook and it was from Xbox.
It's all about trends because when World at War came out, I mean, like everyone just started doing World War II games. Now everyone's starting to do kind of futuristic things, and they're probably going to go back in the past again because the only thing after what we are now is probably space combat, which again we have games that are doing that. I want to see a game set in the Stone Age, which is kind of what Far Cry was.
Oh,
So I
that
guess,
well, yeah, games are going towards that with Far Cry Primal, the PlayStation exclusive game that Horizon, and that Chivalry, not to mention the Chivalry game that Activision published, at least on Xbone, and that Chivalry game that EA showed off at E3.
oh, that
That looked pretty
Knights
decent.
Honor thing.
Yeah, that thing looked pretty decent.
I know that it was called For Honor. That's what that was.
Yeah.
I think we're getting like a good variety of games. We got a little bit of future stuff with the Division. We got the For Honor, and then we might have like the World War II stuff. So they're kind of covering all genres right now.
I think it's going to be one of the best years for gaming.
I mean, it could be. Oh, side note real quick. I didn't get to bring this up, and I might do a video on it, but you guys all saw how Fallout 4 showed off the trailer at E3 and then dropped the game 5 months later. Meanwhile, you had games like Destiny and The Division spend 3 years of marketing and then drop their game and still put up very similar numbers to Fallout. So I was wondering, do you guys think, what would you guys prefer? A game to be shown off at E3 and then game comes out 5 months later? Or do you want the game shown off, a year before or 2 years before?
I
I
think
would be surprised.
I'd rather have it at E3 and then it comes out 5 months later because when you mention the game and then and then they say, let's say someone announces a game tomorrow and then they're like, coming summer of 2018. It's like, I'm going to forget about your game I'm going to forget your game for a while.
You're gonna forget about the hype and then get back on the hype train when it's closer.
Yeah, but I think if you do it at E3 and do like the whole 5 months, you get like a good steady pace with your hype train.
Dylan,
what?
which one do you want?
I would say the 5 months before.
Bravo,
I already said it 5 months before.
and then Bees.
I agree. 5 months before.
Okay, so we all agree, and I think it's a couple negatives because you can watch the development of the game like Division and Watch Dogs decrease over the years of how the game went from really good to really shit, same thing with Destiny. Like, every time they show off the game, it gets worse. And then, why is this still a debate for marketing? Like, I don't think there's that much facts that support that showing off a game for 3 years is actually even good, other than name recognition. But I think do you guys put more weight into name recognition? Like, we all know, we all know games like we all knew about Destiny, The Division, and shit like that. But meanwhile, a game can come out of nowhere at E3, blow us all away with like spectacularness, and then it rides a hype train for 5 months. In the music industry, they do something similar. They can just like album coming out next month, hype train, boom, comes out, does really well, or you can hype your album up for a year and it might do okay. Do you guys think hype or name net recognition is more valuable?
Hype.
Yeah, hype.
Hype.
Hype speaks louder than almost everything.
Which I mean, I just find that interesting that that hype is more important than name recognition, which is
I
kind of
mean,
weird to say.
communities. I mean, that in popular culture, they move too fast these days. I mean, you used to be able to uh, take part in, this whole, yeah, we're getting ready for this. We're really looking forward to this culture. But these days, everything moves way too quickly to really write on that. I mean, it's all instant gratification, and there's nothing really wrong with that. It's just they kind of need to get with the times.
So you think that more marketing and game development or the way they handle it needs to start leaning towards new strategies, really?
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't think it would hurt.
I mean, that's a good. It's interesting.
because we talked about this last podcast, like marketing your game the wrong way can really screw it up. Even if your game is a good game, if you market it the wrong way, it could absolutely kill it. Like right now, even though I've seen stuff from the division, I'm still not that hyped about it. But when it was announced, I was really hyped about it. But now I'm just like, this game is probably gonna crash and burn just because it's been so drawn out.
I think a really good point about that is that you guys said earlier that games are more interconnected with the way Reddit and YouTube is handling condensing all the fans together, getting their voice all together and formulated, to an extent that times have changed just from that alone. And so the fact that the marketing strategies really hasn't changed is kind of telling also.
So let's see something. Aaron, if you were, a marketing director or community manager, how would you market a new game?
Don't put me on the spot. Oh, I would do something like I showed off at E3. If I was only handling the marketing, say I was going to market Battlefield 5 or whatever, I showed
All
off at
right.
E3 with the highlights of it. And then I would do. I would attempt to copy. I liked what they did with the mobile game for Fallout, but if not, I would do something viral though. I always thought viral campaigns are really fucking cool. And then you do a beta that was a real beta, but only to like the people that have played the previous title. And then you do like a demo / beta thing where you just like it's polished as fuck. But I would base it on though I would and I would also handle it as I'd get some of the bigger fans in it, like the YouTubers and stuff. I would get the critics in there, and I'd have them do like real testimonies of like I would do a video where I'd be like I would take somebody who said negative stuff about Battlefield 4 and I'd play him saying it, and then I'd have it me like interview him or whatever and be like you stand by what you said, and he'd go yeah, and I'd be like yo, this guy isn't gonna lie to us if the game is doo doo. You should trust his opinion. I wouldn't downplay the past faults of the game previous. I'd have more interaction with people that actually matter. I wouldn't be all bullshit cinematics and shit either.
But remember, what if you bring that guy up there for the interview and it like completely bashes your game? Like, there goes your job.
The game ain't gonna be doo doo. Why you gotta hate on my game like that?
I hate on your game. I'm just saying, like it's a possibility when you give someone like that much freedom. I doubt any YouTuber would do that because they'll probably be like, I'm kind of scared. I'm in this developer's office, and then you just be sitting there in front of them, just like, really, you gonna bash my game like that, dude?
I mean, yeah, but those are the chances. Those are the chances that nobody wants to take, though. Like nobody does anymore. I mean, just to play in an alpha of a game, you have to sign an NDAA. I know it's an alpha and stuff, but I think there needs to be a game that takes that chance where, like the way Overwatch handled it is they did their beta and then they were able to show it off. I think more people should have the balls for that, is to show your game off, 6 months, 7 months before it's even out and have it polished as fuck. I think that's what it is more, is there needs to be more development time into the games nowadays, and so that the quality when you show it off to a critic is that you know in the back of your head you're proud of it. I don't think that, when they made Battlefield 4 when it was coming out, they were proud of it. I don't think when Star Wars Battlefront came out, I don't think DICE was like, oh, if we show this to the toughest critic, he's not going to have anything nice to say. I think they knew that there was some weak points in it. I think you shouldn't be selling games if you know your game's not the best you can do, and that's the problem.
That is a really good point. And that's what I was kind of looking for, was more development time. Like, don't try to put out a game every year and a half. Like, give yourself like 3-4 years, and then let your game be polished. But then you brought up another good point, is the beta. I think a beta helps out a game a lot, because especially like an open beta where just anyone can just go up in there and download it. It's free, and then like they're free to judge it how they want. But then again, they can't. Well, no, they are free like to judge like how it plays and everything, because that's it. It's literally just like a piece of the game taken out like a demo, and it's just free to play. I think that helps out marketers a lot.
Yeah, I think it just costs so much money for them to keep a game in development these days that, as much as I'm sure a lot of developers really do want to keep their games in development for longer rather than rush out the release, but it costs so much money that the people that they work for just will not allow them to do that. So it's kind of a difficult place for them to be, I'm sure.
I think that, like you said, though, I think more stuff needs to evolve, such as like donating to the game. I think that if DICE would have had a better game, I think like maybe during Battlefield 3, I think if they would have asked for like a donation or something with like camos or something, and said we'll do a 5th DLC free, I think they could have made more money off of like that. I think if you would ride the positivity of the game that was quality towards the end, like they did with Battlefield 4, how they're still supporting it now, I think if the community in the end is like, yo, thank you for this, I put over fucking 40, 50 days into it, I think they'll be more willing to give back to you, and I think they need to play into that a little bit more, not from a greed standpoint, but as a relationship standpoint. I think publishers don't give enough credit to the fan base that at the end of the day they'll still support the game, because like I said, I bought BioShock Infinite on sale, and I felt bad, and so I bought the DLC. I got to play Portal 2 for free. I felt bad. I bought the orange box. If I can get a quality product, I'll feel bad and want to give you more money. That's just how I am. I know not everybody is, but that's what I did.
Especially with, say, Battlefield 4, for example, if you're going to put out this game, it kind of flounders at launch, but you really, really get after it and put out a quality support for it. Like, Battlefield 4 is really finishing strong. And if they're not going to support modding for the games, they should really look at how well Battlefield 4 was supported, and other people should emulate that. Because, if the game's going to be so locked down, they really, really need to support it to keep it alive. And they really should have ways to make money while they're doing that. So I think cosmetic skins are a really good way for them to do that. But the life cycles of the games these days, it's just so expensive, and for them to keep them going and keep developing new content for them, they need to figure something out.
So we might actually have reports that kind of lend developers, because you are right, it is really expensive for them to keep developing a game for longer periods of time. But with those microtransactions coming in from your last game, that could actually help. So we're probably closer to what we're saying than we actually know that we are. That makes sense.
Yeah, probably so. I mean, once they have like once microtransactions and that kind of environment really gets solidified, it will be kind of a snowball effect, and that will probably be a really good thing for a lot of developers.
Yeah, I think this question. I think the thing about this question, though, it doesn't account for, is that there is another alternative way to make money other than microtransactions that nobody brought up. Is that look what something like Halo did. I mean, I have a fucking Halo poster there, I bought some Halo swag. I think if you make the game damn good enough, you can make more money not from microtransactions but from physical stuff. You know, I had a Battlefield poster. You know, I really fucking loved it. I have these Black Ops 3 posters. You know, I have other video game swag. It's like if you make the game good enough, you want it to become incorporated into your life. They can make some solid money off of that after market. Those are basically physical microtransactions. So I don't even think microtransactions even need to be in game. You can make microtransactions in real life with good quality products from a game that's quality. You know,
Yeah,
I think
I
if
think
they
that
would have. Oh, go ahead.
there probably just won't be as many people. It's a lot easier to click a button on a computer. It's probably a lot more difficult to convince people to, buy physical things to clutter up their already cluttered up house. Especially whenever you're dealing with a lot of kids buying things in games. It's really easy for them to be like, oh, I need this thing, buy it for me. It's, you click a couple buttons and it's done. But, oh, I need to buy this, like, 10th poster and put it up on, blah, 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 blah. It just, probably just easier for them to make money through virtual things.
Yeah, I think it's easier to say like you're like 15. You probably don't have your own job. It's easier to ask your parents for like $3 or $5 for like just a little thing that's actually in the game. It'll be gone real quick. Then I think it's easier to convince them for $3 to $5 than for like $20 for a shirt. Because at least I know that's how it was with my parents when I was younger. That if I wanted DLC, it would be easier for them to pay $15. But if I saw like a shirt or something like a shirt or whatever, like $20, they'll be like, no. So that does bring up a very valid.
I don't know, man. I think that I'm probably really biased and I'm probably really weird, but majority of all of my T-shirts that I wear are all Strange Music T-shirts. They're all I bought from they make from a music label shirts. You know, I owned like 2 Halo T-shirts when I was younger. Like I like wearing or supporting or decorating through a product that I really like, opposed to just fucking, like, oh, microtransaction cosmetic skin. I don't care about that. I'd rather incorporate it, make it real and physical in my life some way, more than I'd rather do that. I honestly think if they put some R&D into it, some research and development, and if they could come up with clever ways of doing it, and if they could come up with, it's not hard for EA to be like, oh, let's have our fucking T-shirt company that makes T-shirts for like $3 on the dollar, or $3, per T-shirt, sell them for like 15, make a huge fucking profit, like $10 off a shirt or something decent, and come up with some cool ass fan designs. They couldn't sell it. I think you can come up with some shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I just think that they're still going to make more money off virtual stuff.
Aaron, I'm telling you, man, you need to be working for one of these game companies, man.
I'm just saying, man. I don't know. I think evolution needs to happen. I think that Halo proved it. If you make something good enough, you fucking want to buy Halo stuff. I mean, I literally just I literally bought the fucking Black Ops fucking zombie calendar for what was it, $7? But anyways, yeah, it's because I loved the product and I wanted it. Like, I don't know, man. I mean, I throw my money at shit I like. So, this isn't a microtransactions. I'm not buying a single crypto key for Black Ops 3. Guess what? I'm buying a fucking poster though. That's so, I don't know, right there. I put my money where my mouth is though.
What if, like, let's say you go out, you buy your Black Ops 3 shirt, and then with the shirt, there's like on the little tag that you put off the shirts? I guess that wouldn't work if you would just steal the tag off.
Well, I mean, if they made if they made a zombie shirt that was like fan design and it was really cool and had like a bunch of different zombie maps and shit, like only like I'd buy it. Like if it was really cool and if I could find it or whatever, I'd probably buy it and wear it. Like no problem. I wouldn't buy microtransactions though. I don't buy microtransactions. I've never bought one. I plan on never doing it. So that's just how I stand though. I do think you're right though. When I say that out loud, though, because people like Bravo go out and they buy the dance emotes, boom, they can almost make as much money from him as they can from me.
Yeah.
But to please me is a lot harder than to please him. So I think you guys are right. The more I say it out loud, I don't know. At the end of the day, though, what's cooler, some posters and shirts and shit, or a fucking dance emote or cosmetic skin?
I mean, I agree. I love physical stuff too. So it's I love that kind of thing. I just feel like they're gonna be focused on what's gonna make them the most money, and right now it's gonna be online stuff. So.
But how many game companies have their own like T-shirt?
Yeah, but they got a publisher. They can do testing. They could be like, oh, you know, whoever publishes them, they would be like, let us fucking just give us one T-shirt design, I bet, and then give us a little bit of funding or one test, and they could prove it. They just show it off to the fan base or something.
They could push it harder, yeah. I think it would be interesting to see a few of them try harder for that kind of thing, and we probably will in the future. But I don't know, low effort and high reward probably isn't something that they're going to shy away from.
I think like in like this little middle area of evolution, where we're actually like starting to get there, but we're just not there yet, and we're all just like really anxious to get there. It's going to take time, but 2016 as a whole looks really promising for gamers.
I would agree.
Thanks, Carr. Bravo, you have any comments?
No, I'm killing stuff right now.
Alright, so let me cover this final topic and then let's wrap it up. Final topic is the Xbox One, the rumor. It's super rumor mode, so this is just more of a hypothetical conversation, but the rumored Xbox One Slim, which is supposed to be like digital only, no discs, but it's supposed to be a lot cheaper, so I'm like right now maybe $200 is the price tag. Does that interest you at all? Anybody?
Here's the thing. Companies make more from selling discs than they do digitally.
That's not true. They make more profit off digital.
Wait. Oh, yeah, I said that backwards. I did.
Yeah.
Never mind. Yeah, I'm not going to get all digital. I bought my games all digital anyway when I have an Xbox.
Well, I see it as, well, I'm just like, this isn't digital versus physical conversation, because I like digital more because I can buy one copy of a game and game share it now. And now I can split the price like I did with my friend. You know, I paid $30 for Wars Battlefront. I paid $50 for Call of Duty Black Ops 3 and the DLC. You know, it makes it a lot better than paying physical at full price. But I mean, like, if the Xbox One would have did what it wanted to do, always online DRM, you know, maybe no disc tray coming up, you know, would that interest you? Now that we're in 2016?
It would for me.
Yeah, I would be behind that because I don't buy disc anyway. I don't like getting up and going to GameStop.
Hold up, no, I take that back. With me, the whole little Comcast limit cap, 300 gigs a month, I can't do that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's not gonna work for me.
Well, I mean, like,
unless I buy like one game a fucking month, or like maybe 2 or 3.
I know what you're saying. I don't know. I got my data capped to like 400, but you're right though. I'm just saying. So you think it's still being held back? We're waiting for Google Fiber to come save us all.
Yeah, that'd
be nice.
Well, AT&T offers the service.
Fuck AT&T. Fuck that. When Google Chrome comes, I'm telling AT&T to fuck off. I'm telling everybody fuck off. And
Yeah.
did you hear that when Google Fiber goes somewhere, AT&T's like, oh, we can match Google Fiber. The moment Google shows up.
Comcast is doing the same thing.
Yeah, and the moment that shit happens, I'm gonna tell them to fuck off. Too late.
Yeah, that's a tough one, especially for me. I mean, I like the discs. I like not having to just download everything. But honestly, would it be nice to have that as an option, especially if it reduces the cost of the unit? Then yeah, probably so. Probably.
Yeah, because there's a rumor price that I came up with because the way they phrased it, it's like $200 for an Xbox One. I mean, you just sold yours. I mean, would you consider buying one back? You'd have made a profit at that point. I know it's like the physical versus digital thing, but that goes back to my argument, though. If we lean towards digital, Guess what EA, R&D, and all that other shit goes towards? T-shirts, posters, physical shit. You lose the void of games, but you gain it with cool shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I read $200. If there's an exclusive title that I really want to play, it's going to be a lot easier to convince me to buy in at that price point than what the consoles were retailing at.
I mean, and it's also, well, never mind, it doesn't have a disc tray. I was gonna say it could double as a Blu-ray player.
Wait, I got one question.
But it could
I've
double as like a
noticed-
smart TV device. But anyway, yeah, go ahead, bro.
I've noticed this thing since I have the PS4 and the Xbox One. For PS4, you know how you could get the physical and you have to switch it out every now and then. For the Xbox One, I don't know if it's because I bought the digital or any of that. I've never bought any of these. Like for Dying Light, I have the disc. I've installed it onto the Xbox because it does it like by itself pretty much, right? You have to install the disc, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for that, I just install the game, then I just throw out the disc. The game is already like there.
It won't work like that. You have to
I
have the
don't need
disc.
the disc to play
have
it.
to.
I just
You're
start
high.
from the.
You're high. You have to have the disc in.
Right? What's the point of
No,
installing?
look,
I can show you.
That's
You
what
can do
I.
it right now.
I have Need for Speed inside. Like the
You're
disc.
high or you have it downloaded. Look,
I could start
Look.
up Dying Light right now and play
I'll do it right now. Look, I took out Shadow of Mordor. Or Shadow of Mordor on the
I have
bed.
installed.
Oh,
Yup.
yeah. Aaron, Shadow of the Mordor was not a licensed game. It was not made after any Lord of the Rings movie.
No, but they had to get the license from. Well, I mean, it's not licensed like movie, but it's licensed from New Line Cinemas on the name, MGM's on the name. It's not like licensed like that, but it's licensed in the same way Star Wars Battlefront is licensed from fucking Disney. No, that's not true because I would have probably assumed Warner Brothers owns them. Whatever, it counts. And right here it says, "Do you own this game? If you have a game disc, insert it now." Shut up, Bravo. You're drunk.
What the fuck? Okay, I'm about to.
You
I'm
have
gonna
it
do this
installed
now.
digitally, and you're fucking
No,
weird.
I'm about to show you.
I'm not showing. You know, I
This
don't
shit
care.
is weird as fuck for me. It's
So
complete opposite for
we
me.
just debunked Bravo and kick him out the podcast. He got demoted.
Probably my Xbox is retarded. It's mentally retarded. It could be.
I'm gonna have that 12-year-old on the podcast next week after that comment, Bravo. Oh shit. That's
He's not doing
Dylan's
social.
younger brother.
Definitely not.
All right.
That was a pterodactyl for sure.
Anybody got any final things? I want to wrap this up. This was a great podcast, but I want to try to keep it short, so I can try to get some views until people start watching, and then I'll make it a bit longer.
I think.
I have one last question, Aaron.
What?
No,
How did you?
I'm not telling you. Sorry, dude. Sorry. That's for another podcast. That'll keep you watching.
All
Just
right.
right there.
Stay frosty, people.
And then, since none of you guys have anything to promote. Bees, you want to promote yourself one final time?
Oh, yeah.
Sure, yeah. Y'all can find me on Twitch.tv. OMGBs. I try to stream at least some every day, but I mean it's just kind of a casual thing for me, so it's not like I really need to push it that hard. But thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it. I had a lot of fun, so I hope to be back.
Aaron, make sure you put it in the description of the video too, his Twitch and everything.
I don't know if you watch my videos, but I always put links in the description below. Call me
Oh, you
Franco.
No,
I do. Watch them. I link everything. My last 6 videos are all linked out. Except, yeah, I didn't link Storm out of the last podcast, but
to link your Twitter and you never did it.
wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
what? Say it again? What'd you say?
I told you to link your Twitter that one time so I can go follow you, but you never linked your Twitter.
It is. It's linked on my
it's
account.
on,
I did
it's on the
it,
homepage.
yeah, last night I did it. Or the night before. My if you go to my YouTube channel now, the link goes to my Twitch, and the link goes to my. There's one that goes to my Twitter.
What about that still in the background though?
Oh yeah, and then yeah, whatever. And if you need any custom work done, hire Dylan.
Yeah, there you go.
Fucking Dylan. All right,
All right.
this has been a great podcast.
Wait. Hold on.
What? I'm ending it with or without you. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Show us your
fine.
demonstration.
There's something else.
Oh, you're not showing us?
No, you can end the podcast. I'm just gonna.
All right, fuck you. Deuces. Thanks for watching.
All right.
Stop broadcast.